Wouldn't it just be weird? Hey, Mr. Thunderbro, Liver King has made an appearance.
Really scares me.
You freaking idiot! Anyway, Danny Spiegel video. Yo, I've got some stuff for ya. 18 different stuffs to be specific. This would be kind of a quick hitters video. It doesn't seem like there's very much going on, but if you look close enough, there's a whole lot going on in the CrossFit space.
Two chicks at the same time, man.
Starting with an epidemic, one that is becoming worse and worse with every moment that passes. I was sent this video from the Fittest Experience qualifier.
That's it?
This has to be one of the worst renditions of the wall ball shot that I have ever seen in my entire life. It's a 20-minute AMRAP where round after round after round, you can see that the individual never ever reaches below parallel on this wall ball shot. I went on over to check out Demir's Instagram profile, and you can see that they've been doing CrossFit since the year 2021, I believe. Maybe it was 2022, but it's been 3 years of doing the CrossFit Open at least. A quick search through the individual's YouTube profile, you'll see that they probably have never done a wall ball shot to depth in their life. This is in conjunction with some sandbag squats that I saw at the Summit Games the other day, which maybe you've seen on my Instagram profile, where the individual is not standing up all the way. And all I can think is that this is a Hyrox issue. I don't mean to beat a dead horse with this, but there was a point in time where CrossFit was the thing when it came to movement standards. Sure, the outside world was out there saying CrossFit's dumb, it's dangerous.
We definitely cater to making it still safe and effective. It kind of really scares me that somebody is just kind of setting up their own CrossFit gym on their own and just following it just seems really unsafe. It's sometimes unsafe enough when you're actually there under the watchful eye of a skilled trainer.
They're doing kipping pull-ups all weird, but if you were in the space and you were in the know, you would also understand that there was resources and there was constantly stuff being pushed off on how to do things. And we don't really have that anymore. It's even gotten to the point where during the Open, it kind of sucks as well, which leads to things such as the box step-up standard getting all messed up last year during the quarterfinal. You see names like Paige Powers getting taken out, Nick Matthew getting freaking taken out. And why is that? It's because they kind of really suck at giving you the message of what the movement standards are supposed to look like. The importance of why you are supposed to be squatting below parallel. It starts at the top, it goes all the way to the bottom. And what we're speaking of here is kind of at the top, at the level of competition. That guy can't do a wall ball shot, doesn't know what below parallel is right there. This guy can't hit hip extension on the front weighted sandbag squat, which is actually just kind of a dumb movement in general. Almost setting the athlete up for failure in my opinion there, but still, you should be standing them up all the way. The judge should be holding the athlete to the standard. It's kind of the judge and the head judge's fault at that point, considering that person won the event. Someone just let him know that he didn't stand up a single one of those squats. Not a single one, because he does stand one up. And then you got these comedians. I don't even know what they're from. People know what they're from. I know CrossFit stuff. I guess I can look it up. Nelk Boys? Is it the Nelk Boys? I don't even know what a Nelk Boy is. It is the Nelk Boys. Got a buttload of followers. And very similar to the crusade that I've been on in relation to sugar recently, there should be some sort of a shame to not being able to hit the movement standards. So when I see this dude uploading a video publicly where the wall ball shot is clearly not having hip crease reach below the knee, you see Mr. Nelk Boy uploading his Hyrox thing, crossing the finish line. Look how cool we are. Everybody should be berating him, saying, no, you are not going below parallel. Everybody needs to know. It becomes this circle of events where everyone's like, oh my God, I don't want to be shamed. So either you're not going to upload it, therefore telling the entire world that it's okay, or the better option, you're going to start doing it the right way. So if on the off chance someone is recording you, happens to send them to somebody like an Andrew Hiller, you've got nothing to worry about because you know that you did it right the first time. Which brings me to a couple of the higher level athletes that we see in the CrossFit space. I understand that they're trying to get things done as quick as possible. I understand that these are training pieces, but I've also coached thousands of people. And when you coach thousands of people, all it takes is a simple flip through to see that there's something awry here. So when I play these clips, one of them's from Ellie Turner and the other one's from Brent Fikowski, you're looking at it and you're like, there's something wrong here. What is it that is wrong? And a lot of people are going to be saying, they're not getting their head through the bar. And like, in theory, that isn't really necessary. Sure, if you take your level one, it's going to say get your head through the bar at the top of the shoulder press, but I believe in just about every movement standard that I've ever read that the bar needs to be in alignment with the shoulders over the midline of the body right here. So this, you can't finish a thruster out here. This is how you finish a thruster. Yeah, my head is through, but my head could also be back here. The thing about having your head back there is it is usually harder to have the bar over your center of mass when your head is also behind it. Kind of inclined to want to keep the bar in front of you. It's like you've got this giant 20-pound freaking bowling ball sitting here, and when it's back, the bar has to be forward or you're going to fall over. So in my competitive time, we had the Rich Furnings, we had the Matt Frazers, we had the Tia Toomeys, and we still have the Tia Toomeys. But what we have now is a handful of people who in their practices, we see Brent Fikowski, who's got like that soft elbow, kind of like pushing it out in front of him and bringing it down. Is it close? Yeah, but anybody who's seen thousands of people do a thruster, you look at it and you're like, there's something wrong with that. And that's what's wrong with it. It's out in front of you. It's not over your center of mass. That should be a no rep. It is a practice, but it's also practice how you play. It would really suck, especially for somebody like Ellie Turner, who's coming off of a back injury, to put in like hundreds of thousands of thruster reps where no one's gonna say, get that bar behind your midline or over your midline, and then all of a sudden you're in a competition and you get that first no rep because it isn't a rep, and then you have zero practice doing them the right way. But what do I know? I make YouTube videos. And speaking of YouTube videos, and speaking of the fact that CrossFit doesn't get out any training content anymore, Don Fall had some sort of an affiliate gathering at Invictus CrossFit a couple of weeks back, and on that he said that they're going to be opening up a new YouTube channel for some unforsaken reason.
We are launching a new YouTube channel specifically focused on training. And so this will be just about education that for you and for your coaches that can make you better. A free resource with really high quality content. We think about this as, you know, an always on resource that you can use to continue to hone and refine your craft. And so we're going to get that out the door in the next month or so. Look forward to kind of your guys' feedback on what you'd like to see there.
And I found it. When I found it, it had 5 subscribers. I shared it in my story, and what does it got right now? 579. CrossFit, you are welcome. Launching mid-October. Mid-October is rapidly approaching. I can only imagine what sort of content. I hope for the best. I hope that there is some sort of a new series of events where everybody is going to have a good influx of what it means to hit the movement standards. So we aren't relying on the Nelk boys to be telling us how to do wall ball shots. But the most interesting thing about that, at least for somebody like little old me making my little old YouTube videos, or my little old Instagram stories, is that they picked up 500 plus subscribers on their YouTube channel. They also put up a video on their Black page, which has 1.7 something million followers. They shared it to their profile, and in the first 2 hours, at least when I'm making this, it's got 352 views. 352 views in 2 hours. Those are rookie numbers. You gotta pump those numbers up. You gotta do something. You gotta inject some freaking venom into the YouTube channel. Get that thing freaking going. I watched that video with Lynn Knappman, the Masters athlete. You don't even know that Chad McKay's in that video. Freaking Chad McKay's in that video. That video is freaking phenomenal. How do I not know that Chad McKay's in that video from the title and the thumbnail? You freaking idiots. Anyway, let's see how that training channel goes. An event happened in New York this past week. I think it's called Strong New York, and I think that is where James Townsend just freaking blew out his leg. One of the strongest individuals in the CrossFit space, former coach of Mal O'Brien. We've seen him do crazy stuff with weighted pull-ups, but he's more known for his Olympic weightlifting, his deadlift, his bench press, all of that freaking stuff. And I've also seen the world kind of chuck around the performance-enhancing drug accusation against James Townsend, but I think he's just a fast twitch kind of dude. I think he's been strong his entire life, and I think that the message that he's telling everybody right there is that at any point in time you can go and you don't really know why. What went? Tore his quad muscle. Video of him in the hospital. Video of him getting into the airport. That's going to be a long recovery. Big fan of James Townsend. I don't think that that dude used performance-enhancing drugs, but there is a dude out there who did use performance-enhancing drugs. He was caught via the CrossFit testing system, which has all of these porous holes in it, but they did catch Mr. Phil Toon. And why are we talking about Phil Toon? Well, he had an injury recently as well. That dude's ban is coming up kinda soon. And he put up an Instagram story where somebody asked if he missed competing in higher CrossFit level competitions. He writes that he misses certain aspects of it, but what he realized being out of it is that how consuming the lifestyle is of a CrossFit Games athlete, level Games athlete, training to be a CrossFit Games athlete, considering he made it and then he had that yanked away via the popping of the drug test. And again, it's kind of one of those things where you see some of the higher level younger athletes dabbling in stuff outside of the CrossFit space. Emma Lawson put up a video where she's golfing the other day. Mal O'Brien looks like a straight up influencer at this point who's dabbled in the high rock space. But then again, we also have people like Dallin Pepper who also came out of the teen division. He's doing just fine. But I just thought that there was an interesting post from Phil Toon. But we're not done talking about performance enhancing drug users quite yet, because the Liver King has made an appearance. He's actually made a number of appearances on his YouTube channel. You know I love looking at numbers and analytics, and you may have also seen that I said the Liver King was buying some subscribers, buying some views all over the place. He's still pumping that Instagram freaking volume, but over on YouTube, it looks like he stopped paying the bills, because you can buy these things on a subscription, because he's got 1.2 million followers. So when you have 1.2 million followers, especially when they're recent followers like they are via his social blade, you can see that they all just jumped aboard. There is not one video that you're going to put up that's going to only have 2,000 views over the first 10 hours. We're not talking CrossFit's followers that they got a decade ago. These are new people, and he's seemingly losing his mind. That's why we're here.
Okay, redo. Okay, fuck, okay, shit. Liver King can't sleep. Wake up, do Tabata push-ups until arms fall off the side to do before and after with the shoulder pump. So I haven't done my shoulder exercise even though I just had a whole bunch of protein. I don't know, guts out, but not a huge shoulder. I mean, I look good. Ain't nobody disputing that, y'all. He looks good, y'all. Shoulder pump, check it out. Man, it's good. Yeah, it's like pretty good. Ain't nothing to complain about, really.
Now I'm sitting there with Alexis watching this video. It's 36 minutes long, and the first 10 minutes are legitimately nothing. It's titled Cold Plunge with the Liver King. He puts the camera down, which he does in a couple other videos, which is incredibly awkward compared to the freaking high quality, amazing content that he used to put out. It reminds me of like a 90-year-old trying to use an iPhone for the first time. It's like, all right, put the phone down.
Feels fucking weird, bro. Last fucking second, bro. How do people do this? I don't know what fucking angle people record food things on. I'm gonna stop fucking recording and just doing life. Here's the thing, that Fink, he thinks we can multiply Liver King. I know we can multiply.
And am I in camera? And then he just walks away for 10 minutes. There's two truths to this. Truth number one, the dude's losing his freaking mind. Truth number two, he wants you to think that he's losing his mind. Because if you just go cruise over there and watch a couple of those things, they're weird. They're really weird. And he looks more jacked than ever. The reason I think it might not be planned is because I saw Camille LeBlanc-Bazinet put up a video the other day where she's sitting in her car.
Everyone, if you're looking for a training program that is going to help you feel great, go strengthen your joint and your muscle and not bang everything down and get hurt anymore, check out the Alpha Big program. That's what I do all the time now. I've been loving it. All my boo-boo from competing are gone, and I like how my body is changing, and I can still do a weekend competition if I want, and yeah.
And she's promoting her training program. And again, this is somebody with over 1 million Instagram subscribers, and you're kind of accustomed to seeing things done up a little bit, especially when it's promoting something of yours. And this has to be one of the most awkward and least done up videos ever, which isn't inherently bad, but it's just like, you couldn't have put in a little bit more effort, like maybe made sure that the baby wasn't crying in the background, or maybe made sure that the only thing you can hear is your voice, or actually act enthused about your training program when you're putting up this video. Be like, hey, yo, Dave, hey, Mr. Thunderbro, can you, hold the baby for a second while I try to like rev up my audience? Sometimes people just don't think or care, I suppose. Kind of like Noah Olsson in those shoes. You know, he's a rad athlete. He's on the website. He does these running clubs. He was wearing them at the games, tagging Rad Global. And then he was in a podcast wearing Nike shoes. And everyone's like, maybe he doesn't have to wear them when he's not working out. And I'm like, okay. Let's say you're right. And also, let's say Nike's paying me, I don't know, $10,000 to $50,000 a month to wear Nike shoes. Let's say Apple is paying me $5,000 a month to use their AirPods. Wouldn't it just be weird if you ever saw me wearing Samsungs? If you ever saw me wearing Adidas shoes? Well, he's weightlifting. The Adidas weightlifters are superior to the Nike weightlifters. They're lifestyle Nike shoes that you're sponsored by. It's like, isn't that just a back around way of saying that the other products they're wearing aren't as superior as the ones that you're wearing over here? Because Rad is a good looking shoe. I see people wearing those things all the time, everywhere, not just in the gym, but it's not like he's at a suit and tie event. They're not Louis Vuittons that he's got to wear instead of the Nike. Like, that one I would understand. This one, not so much. I also don't understand all the James Sprague hate. And maybe you'll be a little bit confused about that because he beat everyone else that stuck that thing out. But what I'm talking about is the barbell spin post where John Young's Mountain was most recently featured. I think that James Sprague was on the 3rd level. James Sprague gets all this crap thrown at him on Reddit. James Sprague is sitting at the mountain, he's hanging out with Jeff Adler and company, and there's a comment there which is like, James Sprague could go lower. And the best thing about James Sprague is he doesn't care. He wants to get into the battle a little bit. He's like, yeah, I think I should even be a little bit lower. Put me all the way down. I don't even deserve to be on the mountain. But it's like, dude, these people are so stupid. What is James Sprague's biggest flaw? And although I don't think the test this year crowned the fittest on earth, he definitely won the CrossFit Games. He won the freaking CrossFit Games. There were other people there. They all could have won the CrossFit Games, but James did it. And his biggest hole, in my opinion, is his strength. And then I see him doing stuff like freaking hitting 330 for triple push jerks. And it's like, guys, shut the hell up. It's not like he was hanging out with Tia Toomey at the top of the mountain. Matt O'Keefe had some words of wisdom for James Sprague.
If a tree falls and no one is there to hear it fall, does it make a noise?
I didn't know Matt O'Keefe drove race cars. I also didn't know that this popped up on Google when you looked up who is Colton Burton's daddy. I also didn't know that Tanner Schuck failed Anatomy 101.
Muscle is the largest organ on your body.
Tanner Schuck expects people to take him seriously, but he's out there telling people that anything other than the skin is the largest organ on the body. The muscles are the biggest organ on the body. What did you go to school for again, Tanner? I still got all my books down here. Bro. Thund McIntyre predicted the future of CrossFit after having been through a handful of failed organizations himself.
What the hell is going to happen with CrossFit? This is what happens with all great empires. Like the underlings always try to take out the guy at the top. Happened to Greg. Now they're trying to kill Dave Castro. And the saddest part about it is it comes from these fucking athletes that think that they get to have like valid opinions because they do heavier power cleans than the average human being. It's sad, man. The thing that I think a lot of these guys don't notice is I've been part of 3 sports that have died. And you guys are right in the middle of yours dying. You don't even know it. You guys don't even know it. And you're just going to keep on stabbing away until there's no blood left.
Nostra McIntyre.
Drink it and paint it all over your face like you've succeeded in some way, shape, or form. And then what you worked so hard for, you were the person that you killed. You killed it.
It was like Spartan race and then some other race and then some other race and soon to be High Rocks because it gets boring as crap and nobody wants to just keep on doing the same thing and thing forever. But he references eating their own. As soon as you see weakness, you got to take out the leader. To be determined. I thought it was a pretty insightful take from Mr. McIntyre. I thought that CrossFit could do a better job spell checking their workout of the day postings. The way that I look at it over there is there's always just an influx of people. Some people want to put the men's weights first. Some people want to put the women's weights first. Some people want to use those things that signify man and woman with the outward arrow and the downward arrow. And when you do all of these things and you don't just list it how it's always been listed, it leaves room for error. And then all of a sudden you got people out there listing the women's weight as 155 and the men's weight as 105. And I've made errors myself and I put up my own program. I'll be the first one to tell you that, but I'm not running a multi-million-dollar company. I made this video, I'm making that video. I was out recording with Tyson the other day. Our pets' heads are falling off. And maybe, just maybe, that's also what's going on at CrossFit. You'd think they'd want somebody specifically running the workout of the day programming. And also, if they can't do it, fire them. They did redact that though. They fixed it. You're welcome. Some of you may have seen this. With reps ahead or Brian Friend. Yeah, you didn't see that one coming, did you? I didn't see that one coming, did you? What is it that you took away from the Danny Spiegel video? I'll wait. I won't wait. I don't wait for anybody. Because what you could have taken away from that Danny Spiegel video is that some of the greatest internet content on the face of planet Earth could have arisen from that if she would have just put her ego aside the way that Brian and I have. We're putting our egos aside and we are coming together, hopefully, for what is going to be the best reps ahead freaking competition of all time. I just saw some of the names going to that thing. I've seen the venue. It's gonna be freaking sick. You guys thought there was nothing going on in the CrossFit space. I simply will not let that happen. There will always be something going on in the CrossFit space. Is this where I tell you to follow my YouTube channel? This is where I'm gonna tell you to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you never get bored when nobody else is doing anything. This week is CrossFit Crash Crucible. Handful of elite athletes over there. That's gonna be a good competition. You should go watch it. The Sevon Podcast is streaming that. One final note. I wrote the Gotham benchmarks. I had that thing going through the beginning of September and they're finished up, and of the 45 people who started that, 14 people finished it. The only way that you got a score on that was if you had finished it. Here are a handful of the cards that I kind of made up. The highest scores on that out of 100 were from Natalie Heading, who got an 82 out of 100, and from Haley Hunter, who got an 84 out of 100. I had 2 high-level CrossFit athletes who were interested in it, but they weren't up to the challenge. They're like, oh, that looks like a fun workout, and I go, you want to do all of them? The 14 people who did finish that thing, awesome. I believe I had an individual who had only done one of the workouts as prescribed, and that's kind of how I wrote them. I had an SRX version, and a scaled version, but they were all doable. The whole thing was doable, and at the end of it, you're given a score, anywhere from 0 to 100, and the person who scores a 1 could have been anybody. That's how I made it. The person who got 100, basically Tia Toomey. It's written for Tia Toomey. I got a group, HillerFit members group, and there's one comment from Tara Hodge. This was super awesome to do. Glad I hit all the workouts, but man, am I at things. I should mention, Andrew, that I've drastically improved since leaving blank. I can maintain toes to bar from 3 to 4 and now 8. I can do strict pull-ups again, close to strict handstand push-ups again. I can lunge with the 35-pound dumbbells again. I can clean a 150-pound sandbag. I appreciate your programming more than I can explain. You've given me back some of my fitness. And that was an awesome comment to read. Tara finished half of the workouts as prescribed, finished with a 34 on the Got Them benchmarks. And if everything she said is true right there, when we repeat them in the next 4 months, she should be moving up to at least 35. If you're bored for the rest of the day, check out the video that I did with Consistency Breeds Nutrition owner Justin, as him and I bounce back and forth between whether or not the killer is calories or sugar. That's all I gotta say about that, and Riddler out.
Please smash that like button, no one touches there now.
Yesterday, said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it! Some people dream of success while you're gonna wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. No, what are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can!